About the big campaign speech today from Melania Trump. She spoke out against online bullying. I wonder if it came as a surprise to her husband. Here to discuss, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, a senior advisor to Donald J. Trump, and also CNN political commentator Anna Navarro. Bakari Sellers is here, CNN political commentator, and Andre Bauer, former lieutenant governor of South Carolina. Again, as I said to my last guest, you know, that's a very admirable cause to take up, bullying. No one should be bullied. But Anna, can we just, I want to start with you because I'm going to talk about online bullying. And what she said. She talked about how horrible it is when someone hides behind the internet and attacks children. Donald Trump, who is her husband, has called me a lightweight, dumb as a rock, called you a flunky, one of the dumbest people in politics, and says you have no talent, no TV persona.
That was on a day he liked me.
Right. I was going to say the other was on a day he liked me. I disagree. For the record, about you, about me, maybe he's right. Who knows? It doesn't really matter. They spelled my name right. So what's your reaction to Melania Trump?
Look, I think you're right. I think it is a needed topic that we need to discuss as a society. There is way too much hate, way too much venom, way too much vile language, too much violence, too many threats. It's just horrible what's going on in social media, and oftentimes done under anonymity, done by an egghead, done by somebody that's a fake account or whatever. Donald Trump does it on his own. He does it with his own persona. He backs up what he says. Now, if Melania Trump wants to do something against online bullying, really, all she's got to do is put a little melatonin in his nighttime milk. And, you know, maybe lullaby him to sleep.
Or take his phone away, right?
Take his phone away. You know, tie his hands up, do something. But look, I get where she's coming from, but it's a very difficult argument to make when you are sleeping next to Donald Trump, who's tweeting at 3 a.m. in the morning and tweeting really ridiculous things at 3 a.m. in the morning.
So the interesting thing is, and I think that everyone, you know, if you did happen to split with Donald Trump, there was one thing that said, okay, I just can't go past. For a lot of people, especially women, it was the Heidi Cruz thing when he retweeted the Heidi Cruz photo. So Sarah, this is for you. Isn't that the definition, though, of online bullying, and why isn't her husband held to the same standards that that she wants to hold the kids to?
Look, I don't think that's her point at all. Melania certainly didn't say that her husband was perfect. What she did was come out and tell her story, tell what matters to her in terms of what she would take on as America's First Lady. She has an incredibly powerful story, one that I thought was inspiring, and frankly, every host and TV show tonight is talking about bullying, but in the wrong way. Instead of attacking Melania, why aren't we talking about the real epidemic here of cyberbullying? She's trying to bring and highlight an issue that is a problem, and I think we should, you know, give her credit for that.
I don't think we're attacking Melania. Certainly, I don't mean to attack Melania. I think she is a class act. I think she's a lovely woman. She said herself, she's come out to be much more grounded than her husband.
A lot of his tweets.
And I think she is supportive and loving of her spouse.
Yeah.
That being said, her spouse is crazy and tweets crazy stuff in the middle of the night. I
would hardly say that her spouse is crazy. And I think when you say things like that and expect him not to respond is ridiculous. You're calling him a name while getting mad at him.
I am nothing but a talking head on TV. He is running for president. The highest
your father
office
ran
in the
for
land.
president.
He did. I was there for that. I remember.
And your father didn't respond to every surrogate, every news person, your father took the high road.
He was also very nice.
Right. And he's a nice man. I have to say that Donald Trump is a nice man. Not a nice man, I'm not, but whatever. But your dad did not go about it, and most people don't go about it the way Donald Trump did. He is seen as a bully. Some of the things he said is a bully. I mean, look, come on. This is just Twitter. Come on, Sarah. Let's just be honest.
The most vicious things in this race, though, why aren't we talking about all the terrible things that Hillary Clinton has said?
But explain what that is. That's a two-page spread of people, places, and things that Donald Trump has attacked on Twitter. And you and me are on that list.
And Hillary Clinton calls millions of Americans deplorable and irredeemable, yet that's not a big deal. Let's just push that aside.
No, we talked about that. That's one thing. Did you
That's
see that?
not one
Did you
thing.
see? No.
She constantly has contempt for Americans that don't agree with her.
She said that one time in a speech. These are hundreds. Do you understand the difference?
I do, but I think you're missing the point of what Melania was trying to do today. She wanted to come out. She wanted to tell her story. If anybody at this point in the campaign is going low. It's Hillary Clinton.
She also apologized for that too as well.
Her campaign has turned to nothing but vicious personal attacks. These final days, that's all she's doing. She said she was going to take the high road. That's the opposite of what she has done in this.
You're absolutely right, and we discussed
days.
that the two segments.
While Donald Trump is talking about issues.
Donald Trump called a quote a failed CNN announcer again, right? He called you that, right? Is that right? He says Melania Trump says our online culture has gotten too mean and too rough. So what's your reaction?
Well, I think that I look at it in the context of Melania Trump's two entrees onto the national stage, and I have to say that Melania Trump's team around her actually failed her. First with the speech at the convention, and now with the speech talking about bullying, which many people say is just hypocrisy because her husband is the point person when it comes to online bullying. I don't think anybody's talking badly about Melania Trump. I think she's a woman of great poise. I think she's intelligent. She has her own business. She's beautiful. And so no one is criticizing Melania Trump on that. But what I am saying, though, is that her team, the people around her, somebody who wrote those remarks for her, somebody who said that we're going to go out and talk about bullying, and completely disregard. I mean, when you listen to the speech, it's almost as if you want to introduce her to Donald Trump because maybe she can work on Donald Trump. I mean, it's some disconnect there. And I just put that on the campaign. I don't put that on her because I do think she's a valuable asset to the campaign, and we should see more of her if Donald Trump wants to do better with women.
Yeah, and that was a caveat that we all gave. She's a nice enough woman. This is an admirable thing to take up, initiative to take up. But I mean, you know,
well,
it's just
the other point, she's talking about child bullying, and I think
absolutely.
I think we should all, surely everybody here knows the difference too, and you know, I think to try to make it something different.